Hey everyone, it's Alex with alextucker.ca. Welcome to the second episode of my podcast. I'm joined today by the Millionaire Mum, aka Sophie Bide, who is originally from the UK, but she's joining me today from her home in Switzerland. Sophie, thanks so much for joining me.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for inviting me, Alex. I much appreciate it. So, as you said, I'm Sophie. I'm from the UK. I live in Switzerland. I have part of my family is Swiss, so this is why I'm here. I always introduce myself. I'm a busy mum. This is my main job. I have 4 kids. 3 are still living at home. They're being homeschooled. So this is kind of what takes up a lot of my time. I trained initially as a psychologist. I worked for many years as a psychologist in private psychotherapy. But then as the children sort of arrived, as the family grew, I kind of, worked less and less until I just stopped working in psychology completely and then decided to work online. That's it in a nutshell.
Wow. And was there anything in particular that inspired you or gave you the idea to start working online?
Yes. I started to get the idea and the desire to work online way back in 2009. I always wanted to get out of psychology, of working at least as a private practitioner with individual clients. And I remember way back in 2009 looking online, but then I tried a few things, but never really got very serious about it. Then in my private life, there was a sort of earthquake in 2016 when my father came back into my life from he'd been living in the United States. I found myself having to look after him a huge lot. And that was a huge wake-up call for me, which means that by 2018, when I'd been doing this for 2 years, I thought if I want to go online, now is the time to do it, or I'll never do it. It made me realize that life was really very, very short. And I'd say that was the trigger for me, that really got me started.
Wow, that's really really personal and really a strong motivator to get started. I mean, I think a lot of people probably just sort of think it's a good opportunity or something, but that's you've really got a passion there.
Exactly. I mean, I tend to be very passionate and very interested about a lot of things. But I think I always had the sort of businesswoman in me. I always wanted to create something for myself, but I had all sorts of fears that kept me from doing it and all sorts of excuses. Mm-hmm. But then I suddenly really felt, I spent a lot of my life looking after other people. I looked after my dad a lot when I was a child, and then he was out of my life and I looked after my children, and then my dad came back into my life, and I suddenly felt I absolutely have to give a voice to the Sophie who wants to do something for herself, So that was really my motivation, even though I don't think I maybe saw it quite so clearly at the time. Now I see it very clearly, it's so that's kind of how I got into it. And I must say, I didn't straight away know I wanted to do affiliate marketing. In fact, when I started online, I don't think I knew what affiliate marketing was. I don't think I even knew it existed. But I dabbled a bit. I Googled, I bought a course. I got a refund because I thought this is really not for me. And then I bought another course, and that was, that introduced me to affiliate marketing. And I just constantly, I just thought I'm going to make this work. I will not give up, and I didn't, and and I discovered that I love it. I really do.
That's awesome. So you mentioned that you have a lot of passions. Would you like to talk about any of the passions that you have outside of your work?
Yes, I mean, I'm passionate about far too many things for my own good, so it's difficult because it's difficult to choose, and I often feel I need 10 lives really, but I haven't got 10 lives. I've only got one, so
Yeah.
I mean. In my work, inside what I do online, I'm very passionate about, helping other people, teaching other people, uh, encouraging other people, maybe more than teaching them. I like learning, and then I like sharing what I learn. And I really believe in doing impossible things. This is a bit of a theme in my life in general. So I kind of, I want to go for it, and I hope this will inspire other people to go for it, if that makes sense. That's kind of one of my passions. And yeah, I love learning. I love teaching it. I've discovered that I'm very passionate about going on camera. I love doing YouTube videos, making YouTube videos, going live on Facebook, doing these things which I didn't really think I would be, I don't know, good at, or that I would enjoy, but I actually really enjoy that. Um, and aside from that, offline, I mean, well, in general in my life, I love reading, I love nature, I love music, I love writing. Mm-hmm. There's just too many things.
Yeah, I absolutely understand that. I'm the same way, especially with things like learning. Like I always wish that I could take a year or two off and just focus on learning something, and then I'll be like, oh, there's another thing that I wish I could do that for, or another thing that I wish I could do that for, and you can't really take that time off and just focus on learning. You've got to kind of pick and choose the most important things and stick to them.
Exactly, it's true. It's a question of really picking some things that are that we're even more passionate about, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I wanted to ask. I don't know what things are necessarily like in Switzerland, but here in Canada, we're just kind of starting to try to go back to normal after the pandemic. I think it's maybe not working as well as they were hoping that it would, because I read something about cases starting to rise again since we've kind of started having more places open. But so I wanted to ask, how did, if at all, did the pandemic situation affect you and your business?
So I would say the pandemic definitely very much happened here too. For my business, it was rather positive because more people went online, mm-hmm. and therefore I got more views on my YouTube channel. I got more people inquiring about what I do. I had a little bit more time to actually, to do things, because we couldn't really go anywhere for a few months. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, it was kind of positive, even though I hate to use that word, because of course this whole pandemic is very tragic in many different ways, I think.
No, it is, but it's good to focus on the silver linings for sure. And,
that's right.
You got to keep moving forward. And I found the same thing in my business. There's more people looking to get online, and there's more people looking for information on that. There's also just more people sitting at home watching YouTube. So.
Yes, that's right. Exactly. That's exactly it. Exactly. So so in that sense, it was quite good. I think for me personally in the business, it also meant that more than ever I felt I have to focus. I want to grow, because it was, I mean, I didn't need a wake up call, but I think it kind of reinforced the wake up call I'd had already, which was, let's develop our own thing. And because we want to be independent we don't want to be dependent on a job that can just disappear, overnight, or things like that. So, so that was, it's a very unexpected thing to happen this year, really. But there you go.
And yeah, definitely a crazy year. And did you say that you started affiliate marketing in 2018?
So I discovered it roughly, yes, in the summer of 2018. But I must say, I didn't really know what I was doing until, I'd say, things started to get clearer in the spring of 2019. And really, I mean, it's funny. I always think, oh, things are a lot clearer now. But then 6 months down the line, I think, well, 6 months ago, actually, they were not that clear. But you just never know what you don't know, right? So I'd say there's been steps. I discovered it in 2018. I went up a big step in the spring of 2019. And then in the autumn of 2019, I went up another really big step. And this spring 2020, it really, I've seen really significant growth. So it's kind of, it's funny the way it works. It's like, that's why I always tell people, don't be discouraged, because there just are moments when I certainly feel it's not moving, it's not going anywhere, I don't know what on earth I'm doing. And then suddenly it goes up and everything is clear. And that's nice. So I've roughly been doing it. Yeah, I discovered affiliate marketing, I'd say 2 years ago, but I've really been doing it properly, probably for barely a year,
Yeah, well, I think that, almost everyone probably starts that way, unless you just take a year or two to learn while not doing anything. But even then, when you start out, things aren't going to go the way that you necessarily think that they are in theory. So I think that's how everyone gets started. And that's why you see a lot of, maybe not the greatest affiliate marketers online, because it's just people trying to get started, right?
Exactly. And some people will just do all sorts of strange things, but I can't blame them, because at the beginning it's very confusing, really. Absolutely. No, definitely. And of course, I will add that I'm very much doing this part-time. So my growth, of course, is also probably a lot slower than it would be if I could do this 8-10 hours a day, no interruptions.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I'm still pleased with where it is. I feel quite pleased with it, I must say.
Well, that's great. So how, now let me phrase this a different way. What did I write down here? What is your overall strategy in affiliate marketing, and to what do you attribute the recent growth that you were talking about?
So my strategy now is really, I produce content, I would say, valuable content to help people, mainly on YouTube. I'm really trying to grow on YouTube. But then I'm also, obviously, also on Facebook. I'm saying, obviously, I was very present on Facebook in the beginning and less on YouTube. And now I've started doing it the other way around. But I find it difficult to be off Facebook completely. Yes, Facebook is quite a good way to reach the audience more immediately, I would say. But my strategy really is, as I say, to produce content. So I learn things, I then do them for myself, and then I will produce a piece of content around that in the hope that that will teach it to other people and give them value. And help them out. And, obviously that's helped me grow definitely on Facebook, because people have have now some people sort of come to me for help and they find my content valuable. And also, but on YouTube, it's much more permanent, obviously, because, YouTube is a search engine. So people will find me and subscribe. And then that allows me to make sales, because when people find something helpful, they usually opt into my email list, and then I can email them when they some people buy products, which is really great, really, because I've helped them and they buy, and hopefully that helps them even more. So that I would say is my strategy. And my recent growth, I think I attribute to my consistent action, really. I mean, I take action. I've really learned not to overthink too much. At least I try to improve on that all the time. And I just try to let go of my perfectionism. I try to just do it. And then, and I really try to be very consistent. So I'm present in one way or another every day on Facebook. I post 3 times a week on YouTube. And I think this consistent action is really, over the last few months, I've seen how it's really started to pay off. Yeah, in a significant way, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. That totally makes sense based on everything I know about content marketing. So it's a very good strategy.
Thank you.
So do you have any big plans or goals for the next year or two or anything like that?
My biggest goal, I think, is to, certainly for the next year or two, is to become monetized on Facebook. That's really something that's a big goal. I would say my plans, my goals, my dream overall, I mean, is to continue to grow, to have more passive income. I would say that would be great, but just I really dream of being able to encourage and inspire as many people as possible. That's really I'd say that's my bigger goal, but I don't really have quite a time frame, maybe in 5 years from now, something like that. So within a year or two from now, monetized on YouTube, and within 5 years, be a public speaker somewhere. I would say that would be really a dream.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a great goal, first of all, but also I think that the work you're doing on YouTube will definitely help you get to, public speaking and stuff like that. And it's not only just because it's practice, but, like you said, people will start to find you even more and they'll want to ask you for help. And, at some point, one of those people might have an engagement for you to speak at. And that's how it starts, I think.
That's right. Yes, I think you're right. I mean, I think that's what I've started to see, really, that would be a possibility. And that's kind of really exciting, I must say. Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. So why don't you tell me and the listeners the best place for people to find you and the best way to get in touch with you?
So I would say the best place to find me is YouTube. So my channel is Millionaire Mum. Mum written M-U-M, the British way. Of course, people can also find me on Facebook, but then it's a bit more diluted on Facebook. So I'd say, the best place is my YouTube channel, and there's an email address in my. There's ways to contact me in the description of the videos, or people can comment YouTube, and exactly through YouTube, basically, exactly.
All right. So Millionaire Mum on YouTube, and definitely check out some of her videos. She's got some great tutorials. I learned quite a bit about Facebook from some of your tutorials because I had never gotten into Facebook, like the personal profile stuff, nearly as much as as you went into it with some of your videos. So
I'm so glad you found value in there. That's brilliant. That's great news.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And I guess we'll wrap it up right there.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much, Alex.
All right. Bye.
Bye.